How's it going, everybody? My name's Waddles. So, the update Aquatic came out yesterday on Java Edition, finally. I am super excited about the update, and I think this means something good for the community as a whole. I could see a lot of people coming back to this game because they're interested in the new stuff. Today, I'm going to try and cover just about everything in the update Aquatic. Now, I have to be honest, I'm saying just about because I'm sure one of you guys will point out something that I missed. You'll say, hey, Waddles, you missed this small feature, and yeah, you got me. So I've laid out a world, and I'm going to go piece by piece to cover this update. There will be tons of timestamps down below because I think this video is going to be long. There's a lot of stuff in this update. If you're looking for more in-depth coverage, do a quick search on my channel on specific features, like let's say the turtle or the drowned. I do have more in-depth videos. Just for clarification, I am on Java Edition, and this video will kind of more directly apply to Java Edition, but it does apply to Bedrock Edition as well. There's just some small differences. So just in case you don't fully believe that this update is massive, here we go. In these 3 chests, I have laid out pretty much everything I could find that is in this update. This is all new stuff here. We have all of these coral variants, some new blocks in here, a lot of new spawn eggs. Over here, even more new stuff and some cool items. And then over here, just a little bit more stuff. Tons and tons of features in this update. Now, we're going to start today with coral. Coral is a new feature that is added, or a new block, I should say, that is added in the update Aquatic. Now, there is dead coral as well as not dead coral. It looks just like this, and then the dead variants of each block are above the colored version. So if we take this fire coral, for example, and we go above the coral here, it will slowly die. Coral needs to be touching water to live. Now, the same thing goes for the fan variants of these blocks, which are basically little plants that can go on top and on the side of blocks. They will die without water as well. Now, there is these little coral plants, too, that go with the coral. You can find coral spawning in warm oceans. Over here, right behind the coral setup, we have lots of plants. There is the brand new KELP plant that grows underwater, kind of like sugarcane. You take a bottom plant, if you will, and plant it, and then over time it will continue to grow upwards until it reaches the top of the water. It won't grow out of the water. Right here, we have seagrass, which is grass that goes under the sea. Pretty self-explanatory. There is a short version and a tall version, just like normal grass. And if you take bone meal anywhere under the water and use it, boom, there you go. The grass will grow. Now, it won't grow on blocks like glass and that type of thing. Then, also in here, we have sea pickles, which are awesome. They are a brand new weapon? No, I'm kidding. They're a brand new lighting source, so they have different levels. Now, under here, it's all really well lit up, but if we go over here, it should get dark soon because of my conduit that is running right now. But if we go 1, there we go. Then if we go 2, a little brighter. If we go 3, a little brighter. And then if we go 4, completely bright, just like that. There you go. You can see the difference in lighting. Now, these will spawn in the warm oceans alongside coral. And then finally, we have a conduit sitting right here, but more on that in a moment. Now, kelp is interesting because you can eat it. You can smelt kelp in a furnace to get dried kelp, and then you can also turn dried kelp into a kelp block, just like that. You fill it up in a crafting table, and you get this cool dried kelp block that is completely new to the update, of course. Now, honestly, the thing that I was most excited about in this update is right here in front of us now. There's lots of new wood and variants of things in this update. Now, of course, the oak versions of the button, the pressure plate, and the trapdoor are not new, but all of these other variants are. You can also place buttons in different orientations now. This goes for all buttons, including stone buttons. There's all of these matching pressure plates now, as well as the cool trapdoors. My favorite is the spruce one. That just looks really cool. It looks like a barrel to me, which I'm really excited to get to decorate with. Now, sitting right in front of me is the pretty much 18 new types of wood. Now, of course, there's not 18 new trees. That would be crazy. I mean, it would be cool, but that would be crazy. This is all built off of existing wood that is already in the game. Up top here, we have the new wood block, which is basically like a bark block, if you will. There is no shaved bit on these blocks. So, you know, the top of this log, that's not a thing on any of these blocks here. This is going to be very nice for doing tree branches or tree roots or stuff like that, you know, kind of like decorating or detailing type of things. You can get these new blocks by going into a crafting menu and taking 4 of the same type of log and throwing it in the table just like that. And then there you go. You get 3 of these blocks just like that. So a little bit of a loss, but I think it's okay. Then down below here, we have the new stripped variants of all of the wood. I'm pretty excited about this, and I know when I had first heard about this, I was like, no way. So up top here, we have the stripped variants of these wood blocks that I was just talking about, completely covered on each side, or I guess completely uncovered on each side. Then down below here, we have all of the stripped log variants. Now, these are interesting to get. I like this mechanic. All you have to do to get these logs is take any type of axe, walk up to a log, and use the axe on the log, and boom, there you go. You get a stripped variant just like that. Now, if you're in survival doing this, of course, this will, unfortunately, take 1 duration away from your axe. Now, these new stripped blocks go really well with the plank variants of each block, so I could see some kind of really cool flooring going on with these, or just in general, tons of new building options going on with these blocks. And finally, some other blocks that are new to this update. Down here in the bottom corner, we have the brand new blue ice, which is now the slipperiest ice in the game. It's also the most expensive ice to craft because it takes 9 packed ice. Now, another cool feature that is added in this update is you can craft packed ice now with normal ice just like that, so you can basically keep upgrading your ice, except it gets really expensive if you want a lot of blue ice. You'll probably be better off finding this on icebergs around in the world. Next up is the pumpkin. Of course, the pumpkin isn't new to this update, but the uncarved pumpkin is. You now have to take shears and use them on a pumpkin to get the face on it just like that, and it spits out seeds. We have the KELP block that I talked about a moment ago. We have all of these variants of prismarine, stairs, and slabs. Then we have these smooth blocks, which are super cool for building. For some kind of cool, massive scale like castle or something, this is a very nice smooth block that still has a texture and isn't too flat looking like concrete. Then, of course, there is this purple shulker box. Now, of course, you know, shulker shells aren't new, or shulker boxes aren't, but this purple one is. The old shulker box is now undyed, so you will get a shulker box just like that, and then you can dye it purple to make it look like that. Brand new to the update Aquatic is the super cool, awesome Conduit. Now, there's a lot of info on the Conduit that could be said. This will be a short summary of the Conduit. When you're in range of this new, pretty much, beacon, you get Conduit power. What Conduit power is water breathing permanently, improved water vision, and also faster block mining underwater. The Conduit pretty much enables you to completely live underwater. No need for air pockets or anything like that. To get a Conduit, you need to craft it. This is the crafting recipe right here, laid out in the middle. 8 Nautilus shells and then 1 heart of the sea. To get the heart of the sea, you go on a treasure hunt, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And then to get the Nautilus shell, you need to grind. You can get this thing from the drowned or from fishing. From my personal experience, the shell is not common at all. Now, of course, to activate this Conduit right here, you need a combination of different types of prismarine blocks. There's a whole lot of creativity and options allowed when setting this thing up. The only guidelines that you have is nothing in the immediate area around the Conduit. So if I go over here and I throw something like, let's say right here, it deactivates just like that. It needs its space, just like an enchantment table and bookshelves. You can't have anything blocking these blocks in here. Now, once you get 16 blocks around the Conduit, it will activate. You can keep adding blocks all the way up to 42 blocks around this thing to extend its range. Where the creativity comes in is that as long as you're following the rules about not interrupting its space, you can put the blocks pretty much anywhere. So I could continue filling blocks in like this if I wanted to, and it will work just fine. Now, of course, like I said, there's a ton of info that I could cover on the Conduit, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. So if you're not that aware of the Conduit, I advise you to check out some videos on it. It's super, super cool. So with that, I think it's time to start covering some of the new mobs in this game. And first up is the awesome turtle. This is what a turtle looks like. Super cool. They go on land as well as the water. They will just cruise around the water so gracefully and then derp around on land, kind of like that. They will spawn on beaches. Right here is some naturally spawned turtles. I didn't put these here. They spawned there just like that in this little group of 4. Now, of course, you can breed the turtles, and that's where that egg came from. To breed a turtle, you need seagrass. Nice and easy. Super, super easy to find. All you do is you feed it to both of them, then one of them will lay an egg. Wherever she decides to lay her egg is where that turtle will hatch. Once that turtle hatches, that spot is its home beach. What this means is that, let's say the baby turtles that hatch from these eggs right there swam 2,000 blocks that way, and then you feed them seagrass. They will make their way back to this beach to lay their eggs. Super, super interesting mechanic. Now, another cool mechanic about the turtle is that when it grows up from a baby to an adult, it drops a scoot. You use the scoot in these items down here. The turtle shell, which is a new helmet, if you will. And then there's the potion of the Turtle Master, and then, of course, an arrow with that same effect. Now, what the helmet does is it goes right on your head. You look pretty cool, and then you go into survival, and you go underwater, and you get 10 seconds of water breathing. Once these 10 seconds run out, your oxygen will deplete just like normal. To reactivate it, you need to go above the water, just like that, and then jump back under, and it'll start all over again. While these turtles still want to be on the camera, we're moving on over to the Drowned, the new zombie variant being added in the update Aquatic. This is what they look like. There's, of course, baby variants, and these are drowned zombies. You can convert a normal zombie to a drowned by leaving him underwater. Now, the conversion takes a little bit of time, but he is shaking right here, and then he will be, poof, turned into a drowned just like that. The drowned drop some cool stuff. The new drops that they drop are the Trident and the Nautilus shell. Drowned can also drop fishing rods, and they can drop your typical zombie drops. To find a drowned in the wild, you need to start looking underwater. That's where these guys spawn. Moving on from the drowned, we have a whole lot of mobs to talk about. There's 4 new types of fish, or at least 4 new spawn eggs. We have puffer fish that are added into the game. These guys are really cool. They will actually poison things that get near them. So let's see if we can get him to poison a drowned. I don't know if he will. He's not getting close enough to him, but believe me, they can poison things. Then we have tropical fish, which is crazy. This one egg has so many different variants, as you can see here. Look at that. That's all from this one egg, all of these different type of fish. Now, the puffer fish and the tropical fish will be found in the warm oceans. Then there's cod, which is right there. That's pretty much the new type of normal fish, if you will. And then there's salmon right there, just like that. I really like the salmon design. It just looks really, really cool. Now, what you can do is you can take a water bucket and pick up any of these guys to take them home with you. Just like that. You use a water bucket on any of the fish. There's even a little achievement for it right there. But what you can do is then take this water bucket pretty much anywhere and dump it out, and boom, there you go. There's the fish. Now, of course, you know, it wouldn't be spawning them infinitely like it is for me if you were in survival. There's also, of course, the cooked variants of cooked salmon and cooked cod right there. I was super excited when I heard that this was being added into the game, but dolphins are in the game now. So here it is. That's what a dolphin looks like. You'll find them spawning in the oceans. They will swim alongside you. If I go and start swimming, they will give me the Dolphin's Grace effect, which is pretty much faster swimming here. I have a little bit of a speed boost. It's kind of hard to tell, but I am going faster. This is really annoying when you're raiding an ocean monument, but otherwise it's pretty cool. Now, dolphins will also try to chase you if you're in a boat swimming, which is also, or sailing, excuse me, which is also pretty cool. They'll kind of swim alongside and jump out of the water like that crazy guy that you saw there. I don't know how he did that. It doesn't make sense, but it's kind of cool, right? Now, dolphins will also lead you to treasure. They will naturally swim towards sunken ships. Now, don't punch dolphins, because I did it, and I got yelled at by a lot of you guys, and also it's just mean. Also, if you punch one dolphin and it's near its friends, it will, or they will not like you. Completely forgot about oxygen, but these guys just really don't like it if you punch their friends, so don't do that. It's just not cool. And it's also just not worth it to punch them and try and kill them, because they will drop cod. Nothing cool, so just leave the dolphins alone, okay? Now, for this final new mob of the updated Aquatic, we need to switch over to nighttime and drink a night vision potion so we can see. This is the Phantom, Mob B, the monster of the night skies. These guys will spawn above you when you don't sleep, so they're like a hallucination. Not good, very evil, and they will dive bomb you, so watch out for them. The best way to kill them, or at least from my experience, is to go ahead and use a really OP bow. I'm trying to switch to survival to show you them dive bombing me. There we go. Hey guys, look at, I'm right here. And yep, they will swipe at you just like that and do some damage to you, so be careful about that. Now, the Phantom only drops one drop, and that is the Phantom Membrane. You can use the Phantom Membrane to make a potion of slow falling or to heal up your elytra. You don't use leather to heal your elytra anymore, it's the Phantom Membrane. Now, this potion is pretty cool in my opinion. It will give you slow falling. So if I'm way up here and I drink this potion and then I stop flying, I will fall very, very slowly to Earth. I'll pick up speed, but I'll be so slow and finally hit the ground. It's a cool potion, though. I don't know what you'd use it for other than the dragon fight, though. So with those mobs out of the way, we have the Trident, the brand new weapon added in the update Aquatic. It is ranged as well as melee. I need to find a drowned to pick on. Here we go. We'll spawn one right here. You can whack him up close with it, just like that, or you can throw the Trident at him like that. Now, both attacks have the same strength. The Trident has 4 new enchantments exclusive to itself. You can get loyalty on this thing. You can get Riptide, channeling, and impaling. Now, impaling is basically sharpness for water mobs. This will make the Trident a little stronger against water mobs. Riptide will make you rocket towards whatever you're aiming at. It doesn't have to be a mob. You could aim at literally nothing and get rocketed forward just like that. So it's kind of cool, but it does make it so you cannot throw your Trident, so keep that in mind. The really cool enchantment here is channeling. If you have channeling on your Trident and it is a thunderstorm, and you throw the Trident at something, lightning will strike whatever you're throwing it at. So let's throw it over there, and boom. That's super, super awesome. The channeling enchantment makes farming for mob heads a whole lot easier now, because you can easily get a charged creeper just like that, and then have this guy go and blow something up. And then the final Trident enchantment is loyalty, which will make your Trident always return to you. You throw it, and it'll come right back to you. Now, there's different levels of it, and that will change how fast it comes back to you. It'll come back to you as soon as it hits something. It needs to land for it to return. Water has changed in the update Aquatic a bit. I'm only going to touch on the basics of this, so if you're looking for more detail and depth, definitely do a quick search and find a video that covers the water mechanics exclusively. I did do a video on this myself. In the update Aquatic, items will now float. This means you can't lose all of your items from drowning in a super deep ocean now, which is very, very good. Soul Sand and Magma Blocks now have 2 completely new functions. Soul Sand will rocket you upwards, and Magma Blocks will do the opposite and pull you downwards. If you have a boat above Magma Blocks, let's say you're sailing, it will get shipwrecked. The magma will pull it down under the water. That's pretty cool looking, but very dangerous potentially. You can now place water in things, in blocks that are being occupied. So right here we have a chest, you can put water in it. A fence, you can put water in it. Slabs, you can put water in it. Take a wild guess on what you can do with stairs. You can put water in it. This also applies to some other things, such as signs, ender chests, panes, and a bit more. Some blocks cannot be waterlogged, though, like a gate. If you're curious, when you break, say, this ender chest, the water will still be there. You need to put something in that block to occupy it completely to get rid of the water, and then you can put your stuff back or do whatever you're trying to do. Now, of course, these aren't the only blocks that you can do this with. If you're looking for a complete list of those, either go check out a wiki page or a video that covers this a little bit more in depth. Mojang has finally added a whole new swimming animation when you're underwater. No more jump swimming or whatever the heck that was now. It looks really, really good. With this new swimming, you can swim into a 1x1 black hole. This allows you to make a secret base or whatever you're trying to do. Right here is our 1x1 black hole, and I swim right into it. Easy, just like that. Then you can, of course, swim out of it as well, which is pretty cool. This swimming is faster, too, than the old swimming, of course. When you're in this new swimming mode, if you look down, you will dive down a little bit faster than your normal swimming speed. The update Aquatic adds some new structures. Right in front of us is a shipwreck. There's a lot of variants of shipwrecks, and this is how you would go about finding a heart of the sea. In these wrecks, you can find a chest with a treasure map in it. This one doesn't have it. Here is another variant of a shipwreck. Maybe we'll get luckier this time. Let's break on in here and check out the chest. Nothing in there, and then below the deck, there should be another chest right there. This time we are lucky. This is a treasure map right here. This map will lead us to the nearest treasure chest, which looks to be pretty close. Now, these maps are honestly pretty fun. So you pull it out of the shipwreck, and then you need to navigate to wherever the X is. Once you do that, you'll find nothing. You need to start digging around, and then you'll find treasure. This is how you can get the Heart of the Sea. It will be in every single treasure chest, at least as of right now. Just to show one off, here is a shipwreck that looks a whole lot better than the other ones that I was coming across. The update Aquatic also adds ocean ruins, which are a ruined city. In these, you can typically find some drowned. You can also find a treasure chest inside of these. Sometimes you just need to dig around a little bit, though. These can spawn on their own or in small clusters, almost like a mini city that once was. The update Aquatic also adds these really cool looking icebergs. You can find blue ice on these things like I mentioned earlier, and you can find these things in the brand new frozen ocean biome. Which brings me to the new biomes added in this update. The biome you just saw was a frozen ocean. This is a warm ocean. There's tons of life and color in these things. This is the home of the tropical fish and the pufferfish, like I had mentioned, as well as coral, sea pickles, and a whole lot of other stuff. These things look so nice, and the color of the water is really nice as well. I just love the coloring of this water. The other ocean biomes that you will find are lukewarm oceans as well as your typical ocean. There is deep variants of these as well, and right here is a color difference of the oceans. This is a lukewarm ocean right here. Swamp water has a brand new color which totally fits the swamp biome. The water looks absolutely disgusting, but also really, really cool. Undead mobs will now sink in the update Aquatic. This includes, but is not limited to, zombies and skeletons. They don't care about swimming, and they will just sink right onto the bottom and frustrate you with your elevators that are now broken. When creating a new world, you have the option to create a buffet world. This is a world that is all one biome. I don't have a wonderful way to show this one off, but data packs are now added into the game. This makes adding things like custom achievements and loot tables, as well as other things, a whole lot more easier. This probably makes map makers very, very happy. When in your world menu, you can select an old world, press edit, and then you have optimize world right there. This will hopefully make your world run a little bit better in the new version. You can now add banners to maps. All you need to do is have a banner, walk up to it with your map, and click on it. Your banner is now on the map. You can also do this with named banners, and the name will show up on the map just like that. This makes multiplayer maps and worlds a whole lot easier to navigate. You could easily mark your base or your friend's base on your map now. I'm not going to get too into it, but commands have been changed a lot. Once you start typing a command, you have this menu pop up to suggest whatever you're trying to type. And then we have new music and sounds, but I think that is just about everything in the update Aquatic. Now again, this video focused on the Java edition of the game, but a lot of the stuff is in Bedrock as well. There's just some differences in some places, such as drops and mechanics. So let me know, did I miss anything? Tell me down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope you're informed now. My name is Waddles. Leave a like if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, and then go have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.